This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Wednesday, May 8th, 2019. The title of this rant is, Will a disbanded U.S. intelligence unit encourage more right-wing terrorism? So the president's got all this crap going on with subpoenas and his taxes and the Mueller report and Russia. But behind the scenes, what is going on in the U.S.? Now, recently, and this was just about a month or so ago, a unit within the Department of Homeland Security that was designed specifically to look at domestic terrorism was disbanded. It was called the Intelligence and Analysis Unit. And of course, the Republicans say, oh, well, we just transferred these people into other areas. We're still doing the same things. But some people did some checking, and police departments and other types of security agencies across the country, state FBIs, they're not getting any type of updates, whereas they were getting these updates before. And the thing is, with the president acting the way he is, and having in the past encouraged violence by his manner of speaking, will the fact that this unit has been disbanded give rise to more domestic terrorism? Because if we look at the fact that when we've had some of these domestic terrorism acts in the past, right-wing domestic terrorism, what we've found out is that, hey, what good is it to go to the social media website that they posted on after the act of terrorism has occurred? Why aren't we looking on this beforehand and checking out these people, doing nothing illegal, but, if there are some very unstable people, shouldn't we be knowing this? So the example was in New Zealand, that terrorist posted on social media and actually streamed live, but posted beforehand, but then the same thing in the U.S., the last one posted ahead of time, the one in Pittsburgh posted ahead of time what they were going to do. Shouldn't we be looking at some of these sites ahead of time, and so that we know what's going on, so that we can actually be in a position that we may be able to prevent something like this? And I'm going to go back to 2009. At that time, there was a thing that came out from the Department of Homeland Security that basically said that all terrorism in the United States, the vast majority of terrorism in the United States since 9/11 has been right-wing domestic terrorism and is not bought in by radical Islamic terrorism, etc. And when that came out, the right had a shit fit, and they were screaming and yelling that this was untrue. They were screaming and yelling about Islamic terrorism all over the place, saying these things had to be apologized. They had to retract this stuff because of the shit that they had. Yet at the same time, this was one of the first cases of this happened. Remember, before the 2008 election, everyone was screaming that, oh, if Obama gets elected, he's going to take away your guns. Now we know he never made any attempt whatsoever to take away anyone's guns. But right when that happened, right after Obama got elected, someone in Pittsburgh, I think the guy was only 23, he had a warrant that was being served on him, and he shot the two police officers and killed them. And we come to find out when they checked out his apartment or wherever he was living, his basement of his parents' house or whatever, what was their right-wing literature that was basically encouraging violence, etc. Even some of the more well-known right-wing people. So the thing is, with this thing being extinguished, disbanded, and with Trump throwing out a lot of stuff encouraging violence, and if he continues to be cornered, will he spew out more stuff to encourage violence? And will this bring about more domestic right-wing terrorism? And shouldn't it be something that we should be looking at now as opposed to later? Again, this is what's going on behind the scenes. And this is all part of white nationalism, domestic terrorism, the KKK, Antifa, etc. So we need to be vigilant in making sure that these agencies are doing the work that they need to do.